Hey folks, thanks for stopping by. Going to do something a little bit different today, something I don't normally do. I'm an electronics and an instrument user. I'm not a builder, I'm not a luthier, but I do like to tinker with what I feel is within my capabilities of doing. And I posted a description of something that I did to one of my longest serving guitars here, this Ovation Celebrity Deluxe. I posted a picture of some modifications I did to the inside of it by installing another pickup inside the guitar. And as you can see on the outside of the guitar here, there's also one of these Roland GK2A pickups, and we'll go into that later. But this is more about the other pickup that's inside the guitar, not the hex pickup. So, ready? So here we are deep inside the belly of my Ovation guitar, and you'll see four things on wires there. Each one of those things that has K and K on it is a little piezo element, conductor, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. And you'll also see on the back there, if you want to go back and rewind it, but there was two small screws, which are actually these that have been capped over. They're actually holding the bridge down. So each of those four conductors is like between here, 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 and here. So they're right underneath the pairs of strings. And this is where all the good stuff happens, where the sound gets transferred from the strings into the bridge, into the body, and eventually out these awesome holes. So what it looks like on the back, one of the questions somebody asked me was if I tied it into the original pickup system, and I didn't know. I have two separate outputs. And what I'm going to do in a moment is just run you through some audio from each of these. And what prompted me to post this a picture that I put in an Ovation Players group was a modification that I saw somebody else do. And I remembered the night where I first took this guitar on a gig, and somebody said, "What's with the two jacks on there? You got something going on? Like, that's the most un-Ovation sounding Ovation I've ever heard." Because the Pure Classic is, well, it's the one on the black cable here. It's very airy. It has a lot of presence, and it doesn't quack like the piezo that comes with the guitar. Now, I love this guitar for live. This is the guitar that really made me start to take my career as a musician seriously. I got this, I think, in 2002, and I used to just play bass. And as soon as I got this guitar, everything changed for me. So it was a lot for me to want to modify it, because it felt like I was defiling its presence or its memory. But no, I improved it. The hex pickup on here I also use with my GR55. And as a result, I use nickel strings on here. These are the D'Addario Gypsy Jazz strings. They're okay. They're nothing special. They just feel like a nickel string. I don't know what the big deal is with them. But anyway, so that way the hex pickup here picks up on all six strings and sends that to my GR55, which is pretty cool to be able to do that from an actually acoustic instrument. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to put my guitar down. I'm going to grab my camera and do a little handheld thing here for you and show you exactly what's set up here so that you know I'm not doing any trickery or anything like that. I'm not interested in trying to fool anybody. I'm just, one moment. So I'm just running a very basic setup here in Reaper. And you can see I've got the K and K thing there. I've got the piezo channel ready to go there. So there's piezo, K and K. There's my little picture from before and my microphone. I'm running the piezo directly into a Steinberg UR44. That's the red cable there. There are no effects whatsoever on this channel. Nothing. And the K and K, because it's such a low output, you'd never get a good signal off this if you just plugged it into your board. I'm running it through this ART MP Studio. And what I've done is I've engaged the 20 dB of gain button here. And you see I have this thing cranked to almost like, 2 or 3 o'clock on the input and the output. And this is just to get a usable signal. Yeah, it's super quiet. It's almost not even there. But the levels, I can get them to up to a good level before they start to require some kind of noise gate or something like that. But I just wanted to show you, this is the hardware in use for the K&K. The piezo pickup is, like I said, just plugged straight in. You can see there's no effects on there at all. So I'm going to do this like actually live so you can hear this. I'm not going to do any like super edits or anything like that and screenshots or anything like that. You're going to hear what happens live. That's why I sound different. I'm further away from the microphone now. So first up is the piezo onboard Ovation stock OEM. Nothing special about it. You can see here, I don't know if I can get that in the camera. Everything is off, nothing is engaged with the EQ. The volume is at about half. The EQ status is in the out position. So what you get out of the guitar is what you get. So I'll just do a little bit of picking, a little bit of strumming. So that was the piezo. I'm going to reach forward here, turn off the piezo, and I'm going to have the microphone muted during this stuff. I'm going to edit that out. Don't worry, during the playing part. So now here, we are switching to the K&K pickup. I can see the rumblings on the monitors. The thing that I've done here that I really enjoy the sound of is I'm just panning the KK a little bit to the right, the piezo a little bit to the left, only to give it some other presence, something that doesn't just sound like a quacky guitar or anything else like that. It just has a bit larger presence without being like full on, holy moly, is that ever a stereo image. One thing I really find I like to do with this in a recording context, and I'm not going to do it here just to keep the video shorter, is to, whatever effects I'm using, especially something like compression, because the piezo can get quite hot when you're strumming, is I'll drive effects with the piezo pickup and leave the K&K pickup unaffected, completely unaffected. And maybe if I'll use a microphone or two in front of the guitar, I like to experiment. But the piezo is great at driving effects because it's very present. There's no subtlety to it, I guess you could say. Then you get to keep the kind of airy sound that the K&K Pure Classic gives. Yeah, back at the same. Nothing has been touched. So this is the sound of both pickups together. nice, eh? So if I pull the piezo down all the way, you might not guess that that's an Ovation guitar. But if I put the piezo up, there's that quack. It's kind of cool, right? So anyways, that's a really brief explanation about how this extra modification I did to my guitar really, I think, improves the sound, gives it more flexibility when recording without having to fart around a lot, and it lets you take some of those sounds that you work hard at achieving in your studio to a live situation. All I need to do is to bring that little tube preamp with me. Now, I did a little cost investigation. This Pure Classic pickup was like $200 when I got it a bunch of years ago, and I just looked on Amazon. It's $279 now. It's the K&K Pure Classic. The tube preamp, you can find them for under $100 usually. It's by a great company called ART, and they make lots of great stuff. I have a bunch of their things that I really like to use. But anyway, so it's like, you know, now you could look at, say, you know, $300 and something to elevate the tone of your instrument that actually has a real effect on it. It's not like, you know, putting in a different type of piezo thing replacement for this. This is just the stock under saddle pickup plus the K&K. Like I said, there's more flexibility in the studio, and then you can take your studio sound out to your gigs without having to mess around with a lot of gear or, you know, processing or anything like that. Just a simple tube pre, no effects on either guitar part. That's just a little bit of both. So thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate you sticking around till the end here. Maybe what I'll do for the next installation of my Frankenstein guitar is I'll do the piezo and the KK and the hex pickup here into my Roland GR55, and we'll create an interesting sound. So thanks for watching, folks.